motherfucking tube. It's your boy Rollo Jenkins. I want to make a vid response to my boy D Styles, and he made a video discussing Al Heyman and whether Al Heyman was killing boxing. And I agree that I don't believe that it's Al Heyman. Al Heyman is a businessman. He's doing the business that he does and doing it in boxing. I think there are a few things that are really hurting boxing, more so than Al Heyman, and even more so than this Golden Boy, Showtime, Top Rank HBO beef. One of the main thing I believe that is hurting boxing is PPV, pay-per-view. I believe pay-per-view has hurt boxing in such a way that it defies. It's almost like taking advantage of capitalism. And the one thing I can say is, if Apple and Samsung and motherfucking Chase Bank, Bank of America, and goddamn Exxon Mobil can do it, why not a boxer? Why not a fighter? That's cool, I suppose. But in all other sports, there's a certain level of undeniable integrity. And what I mean by that is this. Let's take, for instance, the NBA. If the NBA could just pick and say, this is who we're going to put in the finals, it would probably be the Los Angeles Lakers and the Miami Heat. Every year, really, you know? Or at least for the last few years. Even though they can't do that, what they will do is schedule Miami versus LA maybe on a Christmas Day game or New Year's Day game. And understandably so. But it just so happens the Indiana Pacers beat the Miami Heat in the motherfucking Eastern Conference Finals or semifinals, they don't just promote the Miami Heat to the finals anyways. If the Seattle Seahawks in the NFL make it to the Super Bowl, there's no roadblock outside of the teams that they have to play to get there, blocking them from winning the Super Bowl. But in boxing, it's a little different. And I know boxing has always been a slightly different animal. But there used to be a time when you got your shot. Even if you weren't the big draw, maybe you had to wait a fight or fight too soon or something or whatever, or fight sooner. But you always kind of got your shot if you kept winning. But the thing of it is now everybody wants to pick and choose. Now, if you Floyd Mayweather and everybody wants to fight you, of course, yeah, you get your pick of the litter. It's capitalism, in a sense. Supply and demand, I suppose. Everybody wants to fight you, so you pick who you want to fight. But when you got the number 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 5 and the 6 guy doing the same shit, you lose the little bit of integrity that the sport had. You got Robert Guerrero ducking a prospect. How in the fuck does that happen? Wait a minute. Listen to this shit. You got Robert Guerrero ducking the supposed newcomer to the game. Now, where I'm from, when I was a kid, if a nigga wanted to fight you and you declined that fight, that was an L. That was as good a win as anything. Ducking a fight, to me, is as clear as a motherfucker getting knocked out. So wherever the fuck Robert Guerrero is ranked in any rankings, he should automatically be placed right behind Keith Thurman. Now, it's bad enough when you got Golden Boy and Top Rank, they won't do business together for whatever reason. So we won't get Broner versus Rios or fucking Marquez versus Guerrero or Bradley versus Mayweather or Garcia versus Alvarado. Now we got to deal with the Golden Boy fighter ducking the Golden Boy fighter? Are you serious? Are you fucking serious? And I remember calling into the Boxing Voice, and I was talking about how because they won't do business with each other, eventually, at some point in time, they'll deplete their rosters because there's only so much mixing and matching that they can do because they don't have the opportunity, the budget, and the network space to showcase and bring fighters along. So our mix, our pool is pretty much set. Danny Garcia, Lucas Matisse, Keith Thurman, Marcos Midana, Josecito Lopez, Victor Ortiz, and Robert Guerrero. That's pretty much it. Who the fuck else is there? You could put Devin Alexander and Amir Khan in the mix. But Amir Khan pretty much on his last leg. And I mean, it's just I don't fucking understand how a motherfucker could just duck a fight and like that shit is cool. You know what I mean? Like and nobody's even talking about that shit or saying nothing about it. And see, and this is the thing. We gotta remember. This nigga is ducking Keith Thurman. And he just came off of a paper. The dude who just came off of a fight where we had to pay $70 fucking to see this motherfucker get in the ring. And now he's ducking Keith Thurman. Are you serious? Are you serious? And we just paid $70 to see this motherfucker get in the ring with Floyd? Let's look at this shit. Man, listen. I've been a boxing fan since I was about I can't even remember. I've always just watched boxing because my pops used to watch that shit and I would just sit and watch it with him. And there would be times where I would ask him like, you know, who about to fight? He'd be like, shit, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, well, how the fuck you finna watch some fights? You don't even know who fighting. But now I understand it, you know? And here we are at a day and age where we used to get good fights on ABC Worldwide Sports. Then we, they took it to HBO. And then comes along Showtime. Then all of a sudden we get this TV KO that we got to pay like $9.99 for, or $9.95 for a fight. All right, that's cool. I get it. Then it was $14.95. Then it was $19.95, $29.95, $39.95, $49.95, $59.95, $60, $75 fucking dollars to see Robert Guerrero fight. And now this motherfucker is ducking Keith Thurman? That's what I'm talking about. Pay-per-view is killing the fucking game, man. We paid $70 as boxing fans to see Robert Guerrero. Wait a minute. Listen to this shit. Floyd Mayweather fought Robert Guerrero in his last fight. Robert Guerrero wants nothing to do with Keith Thurman. Listen to what I just said. He denied, declined, turned that shit down, a fight with Keith Thurman. And just in May, this motherfucker took place in the biggest fight of the fucking year, pretty much. This is what we have as boxing fans. So now, with some bullshit like that, with an ugly bitch like that dressed up and made up, we get this regular ass bitch again, all dressed up and made up. And then you got a bunch of other motherfuckers thinking it's Beyonce. No, it's not. It's not at all. It ain't even Jennifer Gardner. Shit. It might be Keisha Cole. You know what I'm saying? Canelo Alvarez is not a threat. My thing with this Canelo Alvarez fight is this. Pay-per-view used to be reserved for super fights. It used to be reserved for Pacquiao Mayweather. That's what pay-per-view used to be for. Not Mayweather Guerrero. Mayweather Canelo? Listen, this is the thing. Canelo Alvarez, his biggest win is against a motherfucker who hasn't won a significant fight since 2009. Or you can say his biggest win is against Austin Trout, who the jury is still out on. Because I can only name one opponent that Austin Trout has beaten that I would consider of any significance. So the jury is still out on Austin Trout. Canelo Alvarez hasn't beaten Ishe Smith in his own division. He hasn't fought a Kenan Bundrich in his own division. Aslandy Lara. He hasn't even fought his fucking countryman in Fredo Angulo. He didn't fight Paul Williams. He was supposed to, but the shit didn't happen. So we don't know what would have happened in that fight. He hasn't fought James Kirkland. And they've steadily hyped this kid up and made us think that he's a... No. They made some people think that he's a threat to Floyd Mayweather. That this is a big fight. But as a promoter, that's your job. Oscar De La Hoya did his job. His job, like any promoter, whether it's music or a movie or anything, is to make people think that the product that you have is good enough for you to pay your money to see it. And that's what they did to a lot of people. I'm watching because I'm a boxing fan. I am. I just have to watch it. I'm a boxing fan. But if I had to order it, I wouldn't pay $70 for it. That shit is not worth my $70. Lucas Matisse and Danny Garcia, I believe, is a very good matchup. If that shit was the main event on a show, regular Showtime card, Showtime Championship boxing card, I'd be pretty amped about it. To be honest with you, if it was its own pay-per-view main event for $19.95, I'd sit my ass at home and order it. I would. But not for $70. I wouldn't order it for that much. But if that fight was on the same night as Floyd and Canelo, same time, at pay-per-view price, $20, I will order that one over Floyd and Canelo in a heartbeat. It's not because disrespecting Floyd or whatever. I just think it's a better matchup. I think that fight is more evenly matched. I don't think that either one of them are world beaters. I don't think that either one of them would have a shot against Floyd if they fought him. I'm not even sure if they are the best in their division. I don't believe that they are second best in the division. But I do think it's a good matchup. Floyd and Canelo is not a good matchup at all. No matter how you slice it, which way you try and cut it, how you try and butter it up, put some frosting on it, and a candle. It's still shit to me. I'm sorry. I've been a real fight fan for a long time. You know? I got to see Mike Tyson and Buster Douglas on my fucking cable subscription. Why the fuck I gotta pay for Mayweather and Canelo? It's your boy, Rollo Jenkins.